how do you tie the hook to the leader? I'm going to show you right here. Some of the most simplest knots is snelling the knot. That's what it's called, a snell knot. So I'm using a piece of string and a big hook just for demonstration purposes. But you take your line and you go through the front, around the back of the hook like so. You make a little loop down here, right here. So you have a loop. You cross over the shank. So now you have your string hanging out. You go through the loop and around the shank. And that's going to make a coil, right? And you want to do 6 to 8 coils around the shank like that. Anything over 8 is really kind of overkill. Just keep going over and through and over and through. Takes a little practice. It's actually a little easier with fishing line because it's got stiffness to it. The string is actually pretty flimsy. Okay, so you have your coils. And you pull your main line down, and what that's going to do is it's going to cinch the bottom loop down. There you go, guys. That is a Snell hook. That's called a Snell hook using the uni method. So here's going to be another way to do it, which is kind of like a knotless knot. So you take your line, you go through the front, out the back. So you come to the bottom, you make a loop, and then you take your main line, you go over the top here. So you're just like this, and then you just start coiling around. You just start wrapping it and wrapping it and wrapping it. Again, 6 to 8 times. And when you get done, you have your loop down here, you take your tag end. You take your tag end, you go through the loop, then you pull your main line. That cinches that loop down. Make it all snug. And there you go. That is a Snell knot, and it will not fail. This is the knot that I use most of the time. It's never failed me. If you want to use it with the uni method, where you're going over your own line, a little extra security, feel free. Personal experience, this knot's never failed me. I want to tie a Snell knot because it seems way too complicated. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to tie a Palomar knot, which is a very strong knot. You take your string, your line, you make a loop. You go through the eye of the hook, like so. You take your loop and you make an overhand knot over your main line. And you don't cinch down all the way. And you take your loop end and you go over your hook or your swivel, and then you pull your 2 main lines together. You should moisten this knot up. You cinch down, and there you go, guys. It gives you double the strength with the 2 lines going through the hook. This is an extremely strong knot. It's used for many different applications in fishing. Super strong knot. This should be one of the top 3 knots in your toolbox, the Palomar knot. Those are the 3 knots you really need to know. Any of those 3 knots are going to work. Learn one of them, master it, get it down, you'll be good to go.